The white races is a fake. Of the future, the black races, which include Mexicans,
make you do right.
Unbelievable.
To me, it was quite a surprise because I always look forward for someday we, as a people, will make our own destiny and take care of ourselves. And President Obama who happened to come along at the right time in history.
Well, hard work.
Wait a minute, something going wrong.
President Trump, I would classify him as it's a bad thing to say, but I would classify him as Hitler's cousin, because he is German descent. So there's no telling what he's capable of doing.
Really feel good.
Well, he is.
One word, then. How would you describe
Well, he should concentrate on being credible and don't just tell the people as a derivative of hate and tell the people what they want to hear. Just tell the people more factual statements. And one of the misstatements that he carried to win certain segments of the economy is that the wall. In other words, everybody knows that the wall on its surface is ridiculous. Because we don't, in other words, we need to build bridges rather than walls. And in the final analysis, separation really don't work, although it will satisfy a certain need in the immediate times to correct the people. Help me out here now, jump in there, whatever. In other words, we need to establish a cooperation rather than separation. And learn to just get along, because it works a lot better than separation.
I smell new shoes.
Oh, me.
Oh, what you made?
I've said it before. Expensive sneakers are like $150 landmines. Step on one and boom! Oh! What happened?
Control the money and control the distribution of news and the proposition
and the wealth.
Hey guys, welcome to Something Interesting with Robert Rucker. I am your host, Robert Rucker, and I'm here with something interesting, the Keon Berry. Say what's up, Keon.
Hi everyone, how are you doing? My name is Keon N. Berry. I'm a freshman English major education minor from Windsor, Connecticut.
Hey, Windsor, Connecticut. I've never been to Connecticut, but I hear it's nice up there, is it?
Yeah, it is, yes.
Okay, true. Okay, we're gonna start off really chill. So if you can have any car in the world, what car would it be?
Wow, if I could have any car in the world.
Mm-hmm.
If I could have any car in the world, it would be a Bentley. Just because I remember one time I was in Boston and we literally were walking past this hotel. It was like, it had to be a top tier hotel. And they had this car that was big and it reminded me of a lion. And it was like a Bentley. So just to ride in that, that new
Bentley, Boston Bentleys. Okay, true. Yeah, I actually love, I'm not sure why, but like I've always loved Bentleys. I think it might be because like my dad has always loved Bentleys. Right. So like, obviously that's a direct influence. Yeah. So that's cool. Okay, so Keon N. Berry, the Keon N. Berry. We know that you out here doing big things with the Berry Academy. So explain that to us.
Okay, so the Berry Academy is my educational brand. And really what I do is I put all my educational endeavors on platform. Mm-hmm. So I do motivational talks, I'll go into schools and do seminars, just a lot of different things I'm doing in the community for education. It's really all what comes together as the Berry Academy.
Interesting. So education, has that always been a passion of yours?
Right, yeah. So education has always been a passion of mine. And even along the way, I've gotten a little bit discouraged because there's, always the conflict of, you're not going to make any money, or a lot of issues surrounding education. But I kind of just always have, had this passion to teach and just educate, and even from educating invisible students when I was a kid, just like, stuff like that.
That's okay. That's really cool. That's really cool. So Keon, what would you define yourself as?
What would I define myself as? Wow. I would define myself as someone who is impactful. And the reason why I say I'm someone who's impactful is because I always am trying to make this difference, I feel like the world is in need of so much, especially in terms of education. It's not that I've mastered anything in life, because I haven't, but I realize that everyone is going through something, and if we can work together to accomplish all of our dreams and goals, then everything can come into fruition because everyone's playing their part.
Hey, that's awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing. So the Berry Academy, this big prestigious company that you're developing, and then Keon. So who did you bring to us today? Did you bring the Berry Academy headmaster, or did you bring chill Keon, like just really personable? Like, let us know.
Right, that's a great question. So, and people say that, or may have that question a lot. Keon Berry, regular Keon Berry outside of the camera, is Keon Berry, the headmaster. I don't want to give anyone the wrong impression about who I am. When I'm going and speaking in schools, I'm coming as genuine as I am. And the reason I'm doing it is because of the purity from my heart. So me in this blazer is the same as me in a tank top, is the same as me. That's kind of why I left in the nose ring, because that's me. That's the unadulterated side of me. And I think it's important to show that difference about me, because your difference is your value. Your uniqueness is your value.
Yes. Come on, that's good. That's good. So the Berry Academy, when did it start?
Wow. So originally, I had, I wanted to do the Berry Academy and go and talk in schools, and I saw myself doing it. It was really something divine. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I have other responsibilities. I'm in college. I'm not going to do it. And I just kept seeing myself doing it. So eventually I saw myself playing around with a logo and drawing it up one night, and then playing around with a website. And eventually I'm like, I'm not going to do all this work to not go through with it, So eventually I said, you know what? I'm about to just, make this happen. And I just started contacting schools, and it kind of just took off from there.
So what do you think is the end goal of the Berry Academy? Is it a college? Is it a high school? Is it a grade school?
Right.
What do you want to do with the education?
Wow. So with the Berry Academy, I'm not exactly sure. Kind of, when you're kind of walking along this path, you have a torch, and you can't see all the way down the end of the path, but you see, right what's in front of you. So again, step by step by step by step.
But it's important to light that torch.
Exactly. So I'm in a good place right now, and then as I see the next step, I'll go up and I'll go up. That's the importance of faith. So.
Wow, that's good. That's good. That's extremely motivational. Book them. No, but so who's some of your inspiration? Who inspires you the most? Actually, I want to get to that one first.
Definitely my family inspires me the most. Like the teachings that I love my dad, I love my mom, I love my brother and my sisters. The teachings that they've given me have resonated with me throughout my entire life. And when I'm going through obstacles in life, I always hear their voice, always encouraging me and motivating me to stay on the course. But other than my family, I have to say Eric Thomas motivates me the most.
E.T.
Definitely. I heard him, speak in person one time, and this was before I even know who he was, before he really blew up. And then he blew up, and I'm like, wow, I listened to Eric Thomas. He's just a phenomenal person, and I always listen to him when I'm working out, and I feel like he represents the side of always pushing forward, and that's something that I always try to do, because I realize that life is difficult.
Yes, without a doubt.
Right. So. Yeah.
Wow. So E.T., have you read any of his books?
No, I have not read any of E.T.'s books. I know he does have books out. I'm more on the side of reading Steve Harvey's books. So E.T. inspires me, but I also love Steve Harvey as well.
You said family is extremely important. Yes. Why do you think it means so much to you? Why does family mean so much to you?
Wow. So my family and I, we've always had a close bond, And in high school, things got a little bit rocky, and we still we just went through this process of always defining ourselves and always sticking together and always praying together. And in that process, it made us even closer. So through life, from my birth until now, we're always growing together, and that's what makes us stronger. The fact that we're realizing our imperfections, and we're, trying to make our weaknesses strengths together allows us to stay together. From my mom to my dad to my brother to my sisters and brothers, all the way down, always trying to be better, really helps us out a lot.
So I heard you say quickly, define yourself, redefine the world in the last statement, and I know that that's your motto or mantra,
Right.
for the Berry Academy. What does that mean to you?
Right.
Like, go into detail.
Definitely. So I love that saying. Define yourself, redefine the world. I feel like I had a hard time defining myself in my childhood. Like in middle school, I got bullied a little bit. Every single year in middle school, I went to a different middle school because I got bullied. And that was because I wasn't really a confrontational kid. I didn't know how to stand up for myself. So I encourage kids now to define themselves, because if you know who you are now, you can make efforts in redefining the world. Once you know your purpose, you can make efforts in redefining the world, and that's how impact spreads, because you're touching each and every individual, one person at a time. So.
Wow, that's it. That's good. That's good, Keon. Man, you out here. That's good. That's good. So, you claim that difference is value. What do you mean by difference is value?
Right. Again, so no one was born with your purpose. No one was born with your genetic makeup. You are you. So that difference, that uniqueness is what makes you special, because no one else is like you. So I really encourage people to walk in that difference each and every day, because that difference is going to bring a different side of light to the world.
Aspect.
Every different place, because you're just being you. And
God created us all like individually, not to be like Keon, or not to be like Omar, not to be like Beyonce.
Right.
He created us. He created Robert to be Robert. He created Keon to be Keon. So that's amazing that you're encouraging people to do that.
Right.
So what motivates you to chase your dreams? Because I see that you're out there, like really getting yourself out. The website looks amazing.
Right.
So what encourages you to chase your dreams?
Right. I appreciate that. I really just feel like I just am a go-getter, I don't have time to wait, I'm 18 years old, and there's so much change that needs to be made, and I don't have time to, sit back and wait on change to happen, because if I wait, it'll never happen. I have to be the change that I want to see in the world. So that's why I'm always constantly getting after it, because I know if I wait, no one else is going to do it, so.
Yeah, that's good. Taking the initiative to step forward and put in the change that you want to see. That's amazing. Michael Jackson said it best.
Right.
Man in the mirror, So Keon, what changes would you make in like today's educational system? I know that we were having a conversation, just touching briefly on like the new education secretary. So like, what changes would you make?
Wow, that's a great question. I feel like Du Bois said a quote that's so important. He said, basically, long story short, education must teach life, right? And if education doesn't teach life, then we're not accomplishing our mission. So we've taken out, courses like home economics and things of that nature, and it causes this process where, teens have to adult fast because they haven't learned how to cook. They don't know how to iron. And basics, simple things like that. Like I know they even took cursive out of the curriculum.
Yeah.
And you can't even have a card if you don't know how to sign your name, So I would incorporate 21st century classes that teach life. So this extends beyond home economics. Kids need to know their rights, so personal law. Kids need to know finance, so they can know how to manage their money and when to buy a car and when the stock market is high and when it's low, so that they don't have to go through that process of adulting. They can, be prepared in high school to take on the world. They can be better prepared, because you're not going to come out, automatically prepared, but they can be more prepared based off the classes that they're going through in high school.
Man, so man, you got so much knowledge in there, Keon. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you're going to Morehouse. I'm curious. Would you run for the Secretary of Education? Like, is that in your end goal? Do you imagine yourself doing that 10, 15 years from now?
Right. So currently I am running for Secretary of Academic Affairs of Morehouse College. If I win it, I don't know whether I'll be the first sophomore to win it or be appointed at that position. However, on the national scale, I'm not sure if I would run for the U.S. or be appointed or look to be appointed as the U.S. Secretary of Education. it's a really big responsibility.
Absolutely.
I'm really into managing my own things, you know. I really believe in leadership and things of that nature, and I trust the process, but I like creating my own thing. I see myself as an innovator. And being able to, you know, create and, you know, kind of work life how I would like to work it, you know. But if the opportunity does come about and I do have to, you know, put myself in that role, because again, leadership is selfless service, then I mean, I would definitely do it.
Okay, so as we go into college, Morehouse. So being from Connecticut, and it's a considerably smaller state than Georgia, was the transition different? How did you transition into college?
Right, wow. Yeah, Connecticut is definitely a smaller place. You know, everything's within 20 minutes, 10 minutes away from each other. Like the city right next to me, I'm from Windsor. Windsor, Connecticut. One time for the dub. One time.
We out here.
Yeah, but
shout out.
Yeah, shout out to the dub, the A60. But Hartford is literally a walk away. You know, like 5 minutes away. I live on the town line.
Oh, wow.
So everything is so relatively close. Everyone knows everyone. So being in a much bigger space is a lot different. And it's also different to be out. I feel like the biggest difference was for me was to see how the difference amongst people, like everyone comes with their different values. Everyone comes with a different culture, a different perspective. I think perspective is the biggest thing. You don't always have to agree with people's perspective, but learn to respect others' perspective.
Yes.
I think that's
I was literally thinking that. I was literally going to say that.
Right, definitely. That's what, you know, being at Morehouse has taught me, respecting everyone's perspective.
Wow. Okay, so how is your college experience so far? You said that you're a freshman.
Right.
So this is first year. You've learned a lot, I'm sure. I know that I have.
Right.
So, like, how's it been so far?
Definitely. Morehouse College is definitely a different place. I feel like it's hollow ground. And when you walk on here, you get a certain feel about the energy that you don't get anywhere else. In terms of the academics, in terms of the spirituality, in terms of the social life, you definitely get a different aura. So it's definitely, you know, it's a great experience. And it's definitely challenged my character. It's challenged my intellect. And, you know, I expect that and I like that because pressure makes diamonds.
Yes.
So in order to become who I want to become, I'm going to need that, you know, it's a nurturing process, but also a pressuring process. And once you do become this diamond and you're able to wear that crown that Mother Morehouse holds over your head.
Yeah. Dear old Morehouse, gotta love Mother Morehouse. What do you plan to do in the future? What's your future plans?
Right, so my future plans. Again, step by step. I'm not exactly sure, but if I were to, you know, really give a synopsis of where I think I'm going. I said I always loved, you know, being in a classroom and being a teacher. But recently I realized that, you know, the ones who really change the game are, you know, educational policymakers. They're the ones who, you know, study behavior or are writing curriculum or, you know, things of that nature. So recently I've been thinking about law school and maybe going to law school. And there's a program, there's a program that has law school and educational PhD put together. So probably doing that program because I do aspire to have a PhD in education. So that.
Okay, so that's a nice fit. You know, who are some of like your style influences? I'm messing with the stripes and the maroon and the lows. Yeah.
I don't really have any style influences. I see myself as a multifaceted man. So, you know, you'll see me going out and I may have on a tank top. You'll see me working out and I have on some athletic shorts. I can wear this. Like, I wear a lot of different things. I have a lot of different styles, a lot of different looks. Sometimes I'm wearing the nose ring, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm wearing earrings, sometimes I'm not. It just kind of depends. I just, you know, just put it together, honestly.
Okay. And as we're wrapping up, do you fold the toilet paper or do you crumble?
Wow. Do I fold the toilet paper or do I crumble?
Yeah.
I fold the toilet paper. It's like a rag almost. You got
I definitely fold it as well. I'm a folder. We out here. Shout out to the folders. So Keon, it's been great. You know, thank you definitely for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. You could definitely Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, you know, let them know. Website.
So all my social media are at Keon N Berry, Keon N Berry, no spaces, no dots. And then the website is www.theberryacademy.org.
And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm creating for you guys to indulge in. Thanks for watching Something Interesting with Robert Rucker. We got Keon today.
Thank you.
We out here.